Hey guys, so today we're doing a Sword and Shield booster box market update video. I did this a month ago. A lot of you guys liked it, so I figured I'd bring it back. To get right into it, Sword and Shield base sitting around $274, which is up about 1% over the past month. If you look at most recent sales though, it's selling, 294, 295, one at 275, so maybe a bit higher than what market price is suggesting. Hasn't been a sale in, 11 days, so some of these booster boxes don't sell too much on TCG Player, so it's not the best to track price. But, nothing major happening with Sword and Shield base, slowly moving up over time. Next up, we have Rebel Clash. This looks like it's moved down, hardly anything, like quarter of a percentage point, something like that. Still sitting around that 220 mark. Most recent sale was May 4th, 224. So again, one of these boxes where it doesn't sell much on TCG Player, but it doesn't look like too much is happening right now. Rebel Clash, obviously, famously known as Rebel Trash, not really a good set. But what wasn't reprinted, so that's why it's got some value. Again, not doing too much. Darkness Ablaze, this one's actually moved down a fair bit over the past month. So it started a month ago around $145. Now it's sitting around 136. So that's like what, 5%-ish points that it's moved down over the past month. Seems like it's starting to flatten out a bit. This is one that sells a bit more. If you see TCG Player 150, 136.69, 136. That's just over the past couple days. So it does seem like it's right in line with that 136 right now. It's moved down a bit. Again, Darkness Ablaze, one of those sets where, there's not too much in it, but it's an older set. There's not as many boxes, and that's why it has a fair bit of value still. Fourth up, we have Vivid Voltage. This one is actually moving up over the past month, which is kind of surprising because it's actually back in stock on the Pokemon Center now. You can still go buy it. It was out for a long time, now it's back in. Started the month around 132. Now it's sitting at 136.58. As you can see, pretty much, the past few days it's been selling for 138.95. That must be the same seller, a couple sellers competing. So selling closer to 140. Probably not going to go much higher than that anytime soon, especially if it stays in stock on the Pokemon Center again. Vivid Voltage, obviously you have the Chonkachu up top. Not a ton outside of that top card, but that was a huge chase during COVID. Up a couple percentage points on the month. Next up, Battle Styles. This one is actually moving a fair bit. So started the month around 113. Now it's up to 126, 127 almost. So that's, I don't know, quick math, Grayson, like, almost 10%, right? Something like that. Battle Style seems like it's going to be one of the next plays. I think a lot of people are turning to Silver Tempest right now, which we'll get to in a bit. But other than that, Battle Styles, it's an alt art set. It's still available on the Pokemon Center. I imagine Silver Tempest is going to go first, but then Battle Styles will probably follow after suit. So yeah, people are starting to buy into Battle Styles, including me. I bought 3 boxes, and it is what it is, right? But it's up around 10%. It's selling, pretty often over 130 now, so it's actually hot, as you can see, like, from yesterday, 3 sales over 130, just the most recent ones. And, so it's a few percentage points higher than what TCG Player suggests, and I imagine this one, when we do another update video in a month, will continue to be rising probably into the 140s. Chilling Reign, this one's actually not doing too much. It's starting to plateau a bit. Chilling Reign had been on a massive grind over the past 6 months, up from 150. But now it's looking like it's starting to stagger off around that 220, 210 mark, somewhere in there. Currently sitting at 214.84. If we look at most recent sales, again, this box sells a fair bit. 201.90, 205, and then 216.85. So yeah, around that, 200 to 220 mark in there, starting to plateau a bit. I think a lot of money is starting to go into Lost Origin right now, Brilliant Stars as well. People probably aren't paying attention to Chilling Reign, so maybe it'll be another month or two before we see some movement. Maybe even longer, who knows, it could plateau longer at this point, but I imagine Chilling Reign is going to continue to move up. It's a very strong set, obviously doesn't have a massive chase card, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see this plateau for another month or two as people are putting money into Lost Origin, Brilliant Stars, Silver Tempest, even Battle Styles. But once those sets, we've already seen Lost Origin explode, but Brilliant Stars a bit. Once we see those sets kind of settle down a bit, I think some people move back to Chilling Reign, so it might be a couple months before we see this moving again. Next up, we have Evolving Skies, which started the month around 686, up to around 693 now, so not even a percentage point, maybe 1%, around there. And it is selling below $700 still, selling every day, very constantly. So that's a good sign to see. But, I actually called that this set is going to get nowhere near $1,000 before the end of the year. I mean, maybe it'll get close, but it's definitely not going to pass $1,000 in my opinion. People just bought into it. It's at a point where so many people bought in, they don't want to sell into the market because they have to wait to make their gains. We're not going to see a huge spike in this soon, I don't think. I think it was pretty unrealistic to imagine that this set was going to like 3x in a year, but we're going to sit around $700 probably for a while, in my opinion. Again, you might disagree with that, whatever, but it's up around 1 percentage point on the month. Next up, we have Fusion Strike. This one, again, kind of like Chilling Reign, starting to plateau. We've actually seen it come down a little bit. And again, I think a lot of this has to do with some people might be selling to take some profits and then put that into Lost Origin, as we've seen over the past, this has been going on since the start of May, so a couple weeks now, right? I imagine a lot of people were selling off, putting money into Lost Origin to try and get that spike after it sold out on the Pokemon Center. Brilliant Stars as well. So I think people are just moving money around. We're probably going to see it plateau too for a couple more months, kind of like what I think with Chilling Reign will happen. But after that, you're going to see a slow move up with Fusion Strike, most likely. So again, don't expect to see too much from Fusion Strike over the next couple months. Next up, we have Brilliant Stars. This one's making a move. It was around 166. Now it's up to around 185, so definitely an over 10% move. Obviously, you can see around this point towards the end of April, maybe even a bit after that, Brilliant Stars sold out on the Pokemon Center. Once it sold out, we saw it kind of explode, go up 10%. Surprising, it hasn't pushed $200 yet. I kind of figured it would do a bit better than Astral Radiance, which we'll look at next. But maybe the overall market just disagrees with me, doesn't rate it as highly. We are going to eventually see this move up, and I think there's still room for it to grow over the next couple months. But Brilliant Stars now sold out on the Pokemon Center. That's why you see this big move, well over 10%. Next up, Astral Radiance. This one's slowly moving up as well. Again, kind of figured it would be higher now that it's been sold out again. We saw it get sold out on the Pokemon Center, come back in, do that a couple times. So, slow moves. Again, it's not as good of a set as something like Lost Origin or even Brilliant Stars. So it makes sense why it's a bit below that. But again, it's going to move up over time. I imagine this set, maybe will plateau a bit too if people were putting money into these other sets like Brilliant Stars and now into Silver Tempest Battle Styles. So we might see it plateau a bit, but again, over time, you're likely going to see it move up. And, this is healthy too. It moved from 169 up to around 175. So 2-3 percentage points over the month, it's fine. We're happy with that. Next up, Lost Origin. This was a big one. Started the month around 177. This was when it was still in stock on the Pokemon Center. Similar time to Brilliant Stars, it sold out, and that kind of just ballooned up to over $220. We're currently sitting around $219.75. If you look at sales, though, from yesterday, you had one for $239.98, two today for $225 and $230. So it's probably closer to the $230 mark in reality, and it's going to be interesting to see where this one goes. I've said multiple times, I don't think it's going to go much higher than this. I think people that are saying it's going to be like a $300 box or whatever by the end of the year, like maybe, it really depends on what happens in the back half of the year. But, when we look at Fusion Strike plateauing around that 240 mark, when we look at the value of these sets in terms of top 10 cards, I don't imagine it's going to go too much higher than something like Fusion Strike, like Chilling Reign. So, maybe it'll settle around 250, 260. Maybe it won't even get that high, but yeah, thinking this is just going to balloon to $300 over the next couple months, in my opinion, is crazy, but who knows, right? Like, I've been wrong before. And then finally, Silver Tempest. This one started the month around $140, now up to $157. So again, over 10% move. This is the set a lot of people, including myself, think is going to be the next one to sell out on the Pokemon Center. You can't even buy a case quantity anymore. You're down to 4 boxes. This or Battle Styles, right? So, we got this. And then we have Battle Styles, both making big moves, and people are anticipating that these sets are going to sell out. So over 10% move. You have the Lugia up top, makes up like over 50% of the top 10 value. Again, when we look at top 10 value, this is a set below Astral Radiance in terms of value. Better chase card, obviously. Astral Radiance only has the Machamp, this has the Lugia. But, when it comes to top 10 value, that is something important to consider. I imagine once it sells out, it's not going to balloon like people think it will. It'll probably settle somewhere in between, Astral Radiance, which is sitting around 175 right now, and Brilliant Stars, which is up to around 185. So in the next couple months, wherever those land, I imagine Silver Tempest will be somewhere in between those. I don't think it's going to be too much higher or too much lower. That's where I'd put it. So if you're buying boxes at MSRP on the Pokemon Center, definitely making gains right now. Obviously, you can see that would be below current market price. And yeah, if it balloons up to like 170, you're already up 20-ish% on your money after everything's said and done. So that's the play people are making right now. Silver Tempest, Battle Styles, things like Chilling Reign and Fusion Strike are starting to plateau as people are moving money into these other boxes. At least that's my opinion, that's my speculation. But you guys let me know in the comments down below what you think. Also, before I end this video, I now officially am part of the TCG Player affiliate program. So if you buy on TCG Player, in the description of my video, I have a TCG Player affiliate link now. So if you're ever buying, free way to support the channel among all the other links in there. So thank you guys that support the channel that way. You use the links before you buy, or you're liking the videos, you're commenting on everything. I appreciate all you guys for being here. Let me know again if you like this type of content. I want to roll this out every month. I think it would be a good thing to keep up with. It also makes content creation just a bit easier to have consistent things to look at. And yeah, so anyways, you guys let me know what you think down below. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe wherever you are in the world, and I'll catch you in the next one.